Have you ever felt like you're sabotaging everything you care about, without knowing why? You wake up with the best intentions, but by nightfall, you've betrayed yourself again. You scroll when you should act. You lash out when you meant to speak kindly. You numb your pain instead of healing it. And the worst part? You don't even know what you're running from. There's a war happening inside you, but you can't fight an enemy you refuse to see. Carl Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." He wasn't just being poetic, he was warning you. Because what you suppress doesn't disappear. It waits. It grows. And it shapes the story of your life without your permission. Most people spend their lives editing the surface, changing jobs, partners, habits, hoping to outrun the darkness inside. But the truth is brutal. You can't outrun your shadow. You can only face it. And if you don't, it will quietly destroy every good thing you try to build. Think about it. That fear of rejection you keep pretending isn't there. It's the reason you sabotage relationships. That bitterness you never processed from childhood. It's the fuel behind your rage. That shame you buried years ago. It's what whispers, "You're not enough," every time you try something new. Your shadow is not the enemy. It is the part of you begging to be acknowledged. The exiled pieces of your soul that carry your deepest wounds, but also your greatest power. Because only through confrontation do you begin to reclaim who you truly are. And yet, we resist. We cling to comfort, distraction, performance, anything but truth. Because truth costs everything. It demands we let go of the image we've built. It demands we feel what we've numbed for years. And it demands we take radical responsibility. Not for what happened to us, but for how we carry it forward. Do you feel this too? This quiet ache under everything? This sense that no matter how together your life looks, something essential is missing? Tell me in the comments. I want to read your truth. Not the polished version, the one you hide even from yourself. That ache is not weakness. It is a signal. It's your unconscious banging on the walls of your carefully constructed life, asking to be seen. But instead of listening, you've learned to mute it. With noise, with work, with ambition disguised as healing, with spirituality that avoids the dirt, with busyness that keeps you numb. We live in a culture that rewards suppression. Smile, grind, succeed. Even if you're dying inside, especially if you're dying inside, because vulnerability is punished. And darkness makes people uncomfortable. But Jung didn't teach us to be comfortable. He didn't say, hide your flaws and be palatable. He said, descend into your own depths, because in the place you're most afraid to look is everything you've been looking for. You don't become whole by being perfect. You become whole by being honest. You think your shadow is the problem, but the real threat is your refusal to integrate it. The lie that you can be good enough without being real. That you can be loved while wearing a mask. That you can find meaning while denying your pain. It doesn't work. It never has. Your shadow is the doorway to truth, to maturity, to purpose, to authentic power. But make no mistake, the descent into your unconscious is not romantic. It is brutal. It is disorienting. It will shatter your identity. And it must. Because the self you built to survive is not the self who will lead you to freedom. There's a part of you that knows this. That knows the comfort you cling to is a cage. That your routines are rituals of avoidance. That your success means nothing when you feel hollow at the end of the day. But you keep pretending. Telling yourself you just need more time, more clarity, more control. But what you really need is the courage to stop running. Let yourself feel. Let yourself fall apart. Let yourself face the truth. The truth that the life you've created is too small for who you really are. This is not about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you were before the fear, before the trauma, before the performance. It's about turning toward the pain you've avoided your entire life and choosing to stay, to breathe through it, to let it speak. because only then can it transform. Most people won't do it. They'll keep polishing their armor, pretending the cracks aren't spreading. They'll stay in relationships that drain them, jobs that numb them, identities that suffocate them, because it feels safer than uncertainty. But you're here because some part of you is ready. Not the loud, confident part. The quiet one. The exhausted one. The one that whispers when everything else goes silent. There has to be more than this. And there is. But it comes with a price. You'll have to disappoint expectations. Break inherited patterns. Grieve the version of you that played by the rules. You'll have to admit that your strength has been a disguise, and your independence a shield. Because facing the shadow means dismantling the lie. The lie that you're always okay. The lie that control keeps you safe. The lie that healing is linear, beautiful, and clean. It's not. It's messy. It's raw. It will make you question everything. And that's exactly what it's meant to do. Because until you question it, you'll keep living inside someone else's definition of truth. Your anxiety? It's a messenger. So is your rage. So is your sadness, your shame, your self-sabotage. None of them are mistakes. They are doorways. But they don't open through force. They open through presence, through willingness, through the radical act of sitting in the dark without trying to escape. Can you do that? Can you sit with your pain and not rush to fix it? Can you let the emptiness echo until you hear what it's really saying? Because beneath every breakdown is a truth you've buried, and every buried truth is a seed for transformation. You don't need to become someone else. You need to stop running from who you already are. Stop asking life to feel better. Ask it to be more honest. Ask yourself to be more honest. Ask the mirror the questions you've been avoiding. What am I pretending not to know? What am I afraid will happen if I stop performing? Who am I when I'm not pleasing, perfecting, or proving? And when those answers begin to rise, don't run. Don't shrink. Don't silence them with distraction. Stay. Even when your chest tightens. Even when your throat burns with unshed words. Even when your mind screams for something to grab onto. Because this is where you meet yourself. Not in the victories, not in the applause, but in the solitude, in the rupture, in the unguarded sob that no one else sees. This is where your real life begins. In the raw, terrifying clarity of self-confrontation. When you finally stop blaming the world and start listening to the voice you buried long ago. The one that said, "I'm tired of pretending. I want to feel real again." And it's terrifying, isn't it? Because to feel real means you have to stop numbing. You have to stop blaming time. Stop saying someday. You have to make peace with the fact that the person you've become was built for survival, not for truth. And now, you get to choose. Stay asleep, or wake up. Keep projecting your wounds onto others, or own them. Let the unconscious direct your life, or bring it into the light and name it, even if your voice shakes. Because as Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. He wasn't warning you. He was inviting you to stop calling your pain destiny, to stop calling your patterns personality, to stop calling your fear wisdom. They're not. They're echoes, and echoes can only fade when you stop shouting into the void and start listening. This isn't about perfection. This isn't about fixing yourself. This is about wholeness, integration, giving space to every part of you, not just the parts that get approval. Your anger has a place. So does your longing. So does your confusion, your jealousy, your doubt. Stop exiling them. Bring them into the circle, because the parts of you you're ashamed of are often the ones with the most to teach you. And if you've made it this far, you're already doing it. You're peeling back the layers. You're walking into the unknown. You're reclaiming the life that's been waiting for you under the weight of who you were told to be. You don't have to be fearless, just honest, just present, just willing. So tell me, what did this stir in you? Do you feel it too? That quiet ache behind the eyes, The one that says, I don't want to waste any more time being someone I'm not? If you do, write to me in the comments. Let it out. I want to read your truth. The raw, the real, the trembling pieces. Not for attention, not for likes, but because healing begins the moment you stop hiding. And if this made sense to you, if something clicked or cracked open, subscribe. Not for me. For you. Because we need to keep talking about this. We need a space where it's okay to unravel, where it's okay to not have it all together, where the shadow isn't feared, but honored. You are not broken. You are unfinished. And every shadow you face is just another door to becoming whole.